Have you ever wondered what truly happens as we age? Aging brings more than just physical changes. It profoundly affects our minds and emotions, shaping how we interact with the world and those we love. In this video, we explore the psychological and emotional transformations that accompany getting older, from feeling powerless and distrustful to struggling with loneliness and diminished self-worth. But it's not all challenges. We'll also share essential strategies to help you navigate these changes, maintain your independence, and find happiness in your later years. Stay with us until the end to discover practical tips that can transform your golden years into a period of fulfillment, love, and joy. Don't miss out on these life-changing insights that can help you or your loved ones embrace aging with confidence and grace. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. After seeking the advice of a doctor, the family finally began to grasp the heartbreaking truth behind the changes they were witnessing. It wasn't just about aging in the physical sense, although that was certainly part of it. Aging is far more complex than simply watching the body slow down. It creeps into every corner of a person's life, affecting not only physical functions, but also the mind, emotions, and overall spirit. The physical decline left him feeling utterly powerless, as though each day was a reminder of his fading strength. Tasks that had once been simple now felt like insurmountable challenges. This sense of helplessness gnawed at him, eroding his confidence and independence. What was perhaps even more difficult to bear were the changes in his brain. His once sharp mind struggled to maintain control over his emotions, leading to outbursts of frustration and confusion. It was as if something inside him had shifted, making it hard to trust anyone, even his own family. He began to see the world through a lens of negativity, questioning the motives of those closest to him, and withdrawing into a shell of suspicion and distrust. For the family, this transformation was devastating. They were watching someone they loved become a stranger before their eyes, and the emotional toll was immense. They wanted to reach out to bring him comfort, but the barriers of anger, sadness, and confusion seemed impossible to break through. The sense of helplessness that he felt spread through the family, creating an emotional distance that none of them knew how to bridge. The love was still there, but it was buried beneath layers of pain and misunderstanding. Perhaps some of you reading this can relate. Maybe you've had moments where even the smallest inconvenience sends you spiraling into irritation, or you find yourself disappointed in how you reacted to something trivial. It's a universal human experience, but it's magnified tenfold as we age. For the elderly, especially those approaching their 70s on, these feelings of frustration and disappointment can become an overwhelming part of daily life. It's not uncommon for older individuals to find themselves trapped in a cycle of emotional highs and lows, unable to regain the balance they once had. Psychologists tell us that this period is often one of intense mental and emotional strain, as older people face the reality of their mortality and the changes that come with it. And just think about it. After decades of being capable, independent, and respected, to suddenly find yourself struggling with basic tasks, forgetting simple things, or losing emotional control, how could that not weigh heavily on the heart? How could it not make someone question their place in the world, their value, their relevance? This emotional and psychological pressure can be suffocating, and it's often something that family members or caregivers don't fully understand until they experience it firsthand. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory offers a framework to understand this. Freud believed that as we move through life, we pass through 3 critical stages: physical maturation, intellectual development, and the formation of social systems. Each stage builds on the previous one, helping us grow into well-rounded, emotionally mature individuals. But when the physical body begins to fail, it disrupts the balance, creating a domino effect that can lead to emotional and psychological turmoil. The decline isn't just happening on the outside, it's happening on the inside too. The once clear lines between body, mind, and soul become blurred, and the struggle to maintain emotional equilibrium becomes all-consuming. But here's where the tragedy deepens. Physical decline, as difficult as it is, doesn't always signify true deterioration. What truly marks the beginning of decline is when the spirit and mind begin to falter. After turning 70, many people begin to feel as if they're no longer useful. They may look around and see a world that values youth, vitality, and productivity, and suddenly they start to feel invisible. This is the moment when the true inner decline begins. It's not just about the body aging, it's about the heart and mind giving in to the belief that they no longer matter. Imagine the weight of that belief. After decades of contributing, working, raising families, and being pillars of strength, to suddenly feel like a relic of the past, it's heartbreaking. Many elderly individuals face this silent battle, where their deepest fear isn't physical deterioration, but becoming irrelevant in the eyes of society, and even worse, in their own eyes. Psychological and medical research has repeatedly shown that the moment a person begins to truly feel old is not just when their body starts to fail, but when they start to believe, deep down, that they have nothing left to offer. It's this mindset that becomes the greatest enemy, more dangerous than any physical ailment. And yet, this enemy is often invisible to those around them. The family members may see the physical changes, the slower movements, the forgetfulness, the emotional outbursts, but they don't always see the quiet erosion of self-worth happening beneath the surface. They may not realize that what their loved one needs more than anything is not just medical care or physical assistance, but emotional support. A reminder that they are still valued, still needed, and still loved. In the end, aging is not just a physical journey, but an emotional one as well. It's a time when the heart and soul need as much care and attention as the body. If we can remember this, if we can offer our elderly loved ones not just help with their physical needs, but also reassurance that they still matter, that their presence still enriches our lives, perhaps we can ease their journey through this difficult stage of life. Aging may be inevitable, but the sense of decline doesn't have to be. It's in our power to show them that they are not just fading memories, but vital, cherished parts of our present and future. As people age, they often undergo profound and challenging changes that affect nearly every aspect of their lives. These changes can be unsettling, as they not only impact physical abilities, but also seep into mental, emotional, and social spheres, altering the way elderly individuals perceive themselves and the world around them. Deterioration of physical sensory functions. One of the most prominent changes that occur as people enter the later stages of life is the gradual decline in physical sensory functions. It's a stark reminder of how aging chips away at the abilities many once took for granted. Almost all systems are affected, from muscles and joints to the vital senses. The deterioration of vision, hearing, smell, and sometimes even touch can make the world seem distant and disconnected. This gradual loss of senses can feel like losing touch with reality itself, as if the very fabric that once tied them to the world is unraveling. For example, as cognitive abilities decline, elderly individuals may struggle to perform even the simplest tasks they once handled with ease. Reading a beloved book, recognizing the familiar faces of friends and family, or even moving through once familiar spaces becomes difficult and disorienting. Objects around them blur into indistinct shapes, and daily life can feel overwhelming and confusing. Imagine the fear and anxiety that comes with not fully understanding what's happening around you, a fear that creeps in when your once reliable senses start to fail. This decline is often accompanied by a deep sense of frustration, disappointment, and even a betrayal by their bodies. It's as if their physical being, the vessel they've lived in for so long, is abandoning them, and with it, their confidence and connection to the world. Decline in intelligence and cognitive abilities. Alongside the deterioration of sensory functions comes the inevitable decline in cognitive abilities. It is a harsh reality that, as we age, our thinking slows, reaction times lengthen, and memory begins to falter. Information that once flowed smoothly into the mind now takes longer to process, and even the simplest decisions can feel like monumental tasks. This slowdown in mental function can be disheartening. What once took only a few days to learn, like adopting new technology or picking up a new skill, now takes weeks or even months, often without ever reaching the level of proficiency desired. This inability to keep up with the fast-paced, ever-changing world can make elderly individuals feel lost, as if the world is moving on without them, leaving them stranded in a place where they no longer fit. They may feel powerless, out of sync with the modern world, and incapable of adapting. It's a cruel twist of fate after decades of gaining wisdom and life experience. The brain starts to slow just when they wish to apply all they've learned. Emotional changes. Emotional shifts are another significant challenge many elderly individuals face as they reach their later years. By the time they hit 70, it's common for them to feel more irritable, anxious, or restless. The small joys in life that once brought happiness may seem dull or insignificant, leaving them searching for meaning in the everyday. They become more particular and set in their ways, often finding it difficult to adjust to even minor changes in their environment. This growing dissatisfaction is often rooted in the loss of social roles, the decline of health, and most poignantly, the fear of being alone. The quiet moments once cherished now echo with loneliness. As their social circles shrink and their sense of purpose fades, negative emotions take hold. Suppressed sadness, frustration, and fear can bubble to the surface, leaving them doubting their value and questioning the very purpose of their lives. It's a heartbreaking shift from a life filled with meaning and connection to one overshadowed by a sense of insignificance. Erratic and unpredictable behavior. The emotional turmoil that elderly individuals face often leads to behavior that seems erratic or unpredictable. As they pull away from the world around them, distancing themselves from social interactions, they may begin to withdraw into themselves. They no longer seek out communication with others and may even avoid social activities that once brought them joy. This increasing isolation can make them seem irritable, eccentric, and out of touch with those around them. The root of this behavior lies in a silent internal narrative, one that whispers they are no longer as useful, no longer needed. They unconsciously internalize the belief that their best years are behind them, and this negativity seeps into their minds, shaping their behavior. Over time, this thought process chips away at their confidence and sense of self-worth. The world feels foreign to them, and rather than trying to fit in, they choose to retreat into a place of solitude, where they are free from the pressures of a rapidly changing society that they no longer feel a part of. The emotional toll of aging. These changes don't just affect the elderly individual, they ripple out to everyone who loves and cares for them. Watching the parent, grandparent, or friend go through these changes can be incredibly painful. It's difficult to see someone you love become more distant, more irritable, and less engaged with life. But beneath these surface behaviors, there is often deep emotional suffering, a battle between holding on to their sense of identity and the creeping realization that they are no longer the person they once were. Understanding this inner turmoil is crucial for caregivers, family members, and friends. It reminds us that aging is not just a physical journey but an emotional one as well. By recognizing the profound emotional changes elderly individuals face, we can offer the kind of support they truly need, not just in helping them physically, but in reminding them that they are still valued, still important, and still loved. As their bodies and minds change, they need reassurance that they haven't been left behind. The elderly may be entering a different phase of life, but they still have much to offer. Their wisdom, their stories, and their very presence enrich the lives of those around them, even if they can no longer engage in the same ways they once did. It's in these moments of change that they need to be reminded most of their worth and of the deep connection they continue to have with the world, despite the struggles they face. Part 2. The sense of abandonment that elderly individuals feel can vary greatly from person to person. For some, the physical or mental decline might seem like just another phase of life, a natural progression that they learn to accept. But for others, this decline carries with it a much deeper, more painful emotional weight. The real tragedy often isn't in the physical limitations themselves, but in the emotional impact that comes with feeling isolated, misunderstood, and forgotten. But if you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. In truth, physical or mental decline only slightly affects one's ability to accomplish things in life. The real harm is often caused by the emotional state of the individual. Some elderly people become hostile, not only towards their family members and the world around them, but sometimes towards life itself. They carry a deep-seated belief that the world has abandoned them, as if they no longer belong, and this perception drives them into a spiral of negativity. They feel rejected and excluded, and it is this emotional alienation that causes the greatest harm, leading them to withdraw further into themselves. This feeling of abandonment isn't usually triggered by a single event or even a couple of incidents. Rather, it's a long-term accumulation of emotional wounds that have festered over time. These negative emotions grow like shadows, blocking any light of understanding or acceptance that might help them cope with the changes of aging. Instead, they become trapped under the weight of mental pressure, carrying the burden of feeling irrelevant or left behind. Each day becomes a challenge, each moment filled with sadness, as they wonder why the world seems to have moved on without them. It's heartbreaking to realize that many elderly individuals live with the belief that their past achievements, their successes, and even the relationships they once valued no longer hold any meaning in their present lives. As Erik Erikson, the renowned psychologist, pointed out, as people age, they tend to look back on the first half of their lives and dwell on the disappointments. They feel the sting of missed opportunities, failed relationships, and unmet expectations. So this reflection often leads to a sense of loss and deep sadness, as if they've spent their entire lives reaching for something they never quite grasped. This sense of regret weighs heavily on their hearts, making the present feel even more unbearable. Changes in social and family relationships. As people age, they experience another fundamental shift that can contribute to feelings of loneliness and worthlessness, the change in their social and family relationships. Throughout our lives, we all play various roles in society and within our families. We are parents to our children, partners to our spouses, colleagues at work, and friends to those in our social circles. These roles define who we are, giving us purpose and structure. But as we enter our later years, particularly after the age of 70, many of these roles begin to change. The once vibrant parent, who was the pillar of the family, now feels like a burden. The strong, dependable spouse may now rely on their partner for care. Even within their social circles, elderly individuals often feel their status fading. They are no longer seen as active contributors, but as individuals who need assistance, guidance, or care. This gradual shift in roles can be devastating. As their independence erodes, they find themselves relying on others for things they once did without a second thought. They are forced to confront the painful truth that they are no longer the same person they once were, and with that realization comes the fear of becoming irrelevant or invisible. This shift in social standing can cause intense negative emotions. Elderly individuals may feel as if they've lost control over their own lives, that they are no longer needed, or, worse, that they've become useless. These feelings of helplessness and lack of purpose can quickly turn into despair, leaving them feeling disconnected from their family and society. The truth is, many elderly people aren't just battling illnesses or physical decline. They are waging a far more insidious war with their mental and emotional well-being. When you lose your social roles, it's not just your place in the world that changes, it's your entire sense of self. The people you once nurtured, the tasks you once accomplished, the goals you once set, all of it fades, and you're left wondering, what's my purpose now? This question haunts many elderly individuals as they try to navigate a world that seems less welcoming, less familiar, and more isolating than ever before. The importance of emotional health in old age. However, there is hope. Understanding and acknowledging these feelings is the first step toward helping elderly individuals navigate this difficult stage of life. While the physical challenges of aging cannot always be avoided, emotional and mental well-being can still be nurtured. Having a positive outlook and cultivating an understanding of the changes that come with aging can significantly improve the quality of life in one's later years. Rather than viewing old age as a time of loss and decline, it's essential to shift the focus to the opportunities it provides for inner peace, wisdom, and reflection. Elderly individuals need to know that while their roles in society may have changed, they are still valued, still cherished, and still have much to offer. Their experiences, their stories, their perspectives, these are treasures that only time can give. Encouraging them to embrace these gifts can make all the difference in their emotional well-being. Creating spaces where elderly individuals feel heard, valued, and engaged is crucial. Whether it's through family gatherings, social clubs, or simply maintaining regular communication, staying connected to their loved ones can help alleviate feelings of isolation and abandonment. By reminding them that they still hold an important place in the family and society, we can help them reclaim their sense of purpose. Part 3. How to find happiness even as you age. Aging brings with it a unique set of challenges, but it also provides the opportunity to live a life full of meaning, peace, and joy if we approach it the right way. For those of us who have worked hard throughout our lives, it's only natural to want to continue living well after the age of 70. To achieve this, some key principles can make all the difference in how we experience our later years. Rely on your spouse. And one of the most powerful sources of happiness in old age is the relationship you share with your spouse. By the time you reach this stage of life, you're not just partners who share responsibilities, you've become each other's greatest emotional support, confidants who understand each other in ways that no one else can. In these years, your spouse is your anchor, the person with whom you can share both the small joys and the difficult moments that come with aging. Simple, everyday rituals like having morning tea together, sitting side by side in quiet companionship, or exchanging knowing glances become immeasurably valuable. These moments may seem ordinary, but they are the invisible threads that weave a deeper sense of connection, providing a sense of warmth and comfort that only a lifelong partner can offer. It's often said that if you don't argue when you're young, you won't know how to communicate effectively when you're old. Disagreements, misunderstandings, and challenges that couples face in their earlier years help smooth out the rough edges between two souls, teaching them how to navigate the complexities of life together. By the time you reach old age, these arguments fade into the background. Instead of focusing on who's right or wrong, you learn to sympathize, understand, and cherish every moment you have with each other. You realize that material things may be lost, and health may decline, but the love and bond you've built over a lifetime is the most precious asset you both share. In these later years, the presence of a loving spouse ensures that old age is not a time of loneliness, but a time of deep connection, filled with love that transcends the challenges of growing older. Achieving financial independence. There's an old saying, it's better to rely on yourself than on your children. This couldn't be true when it comes to aging. While the love and care of family are important, not all children are in a position to fully care for their aging parents. Through work obligations, financial burdens, or differing generational perspectives on life can make it difficult for children to provide the constant support their parents might need. This is why achieving financial independence in old age is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Financial independence doesn't just provide for your material needs, it gives you the power to make decisions about your own life. With a secure financial footing, you don't have to rely on your children for survival. You can hire professional caregivers to assist you at home, or you can choose to move into a high-quality senior living facility with top-notch medical services and a vibrant social community. The ability to make these decisions for yourself means you can shape your life in a way that feels right for you, maintaining a sense of control and dignity as you age. Having money in old age is about much more than comfort. It's about preserving your self-respect. It allows you to live on your terms, ensuring that you don't become a burden to your loved ones, and that you can continue to live life as you wish. Being financially independent means you can meet your needs without compromising your freedom, and this can greatly enhance your emotional well-being. When you're in control of your own life, you feel empowered, and this sense of empowerment is key to living a happy, fulfilling old age. However, it's important to remember that money itself shouldn't be the ultimate goal. But think of financial stability as a tool that protects your autonomy and freedom, rather than a measure of success or happiness. It's not money that will bring you happiness, but the freedom it provides to live the life you want. And freedom doesn't mean isolation. Even if you're financially independent, it's essential to maintain close, loving relationships with your children and grandchildren. Staying connected to family is one of the most important aspects of a happy life, but it's best to cultivate these relationships naturally and comfortably, without feeling obligated or overburdened. Balancing freedom and intimacy. The key to a truly peaceful and joyful old age lies in finding the right balance between personal freedom and close relationships. On the one hand, financial independence allows you to live with dignity and autonomy, ensuring that you don't have to rely too heavily on others. On the other hand, maintaining meaningful connections with your family and friends brings emotional fulfillment and joy. True happiness in old age comes from nurturing both sides, enjoying the freedom to make your own decisions, while staying close to those you love. Living a happy, peaceful life after 70 doesn't mean giving up on relationships or becoming isolated. It's about creating a life that honors both your independence and your desire for connection. With the right mindset, old age can be a time of incredible richness, a time to reflect on all that you've accomplished, to enjoy the love of your spouse and family, and to live each day with a sense of purpose and contentment. Ultimately, the secret to happiness in old age is realizing that life still holds beauty, meaning, and value, even as the years go by. Whether it's through the quiet companionship of a loving spouse, the sense of security that comes from financial independence, or the joy of staying connected with family, there's always something to cherish. Aging gracefully is about embracing the changes, celebrating the life you've built, and finding peace in the present moment. That's how we can continue to live fully, even as we grow older. Maintain a healthy body. There's a timeless saying, health is wealth, and nowhere does it hold more truth than in old age. A healthy body forms the foundation for enjoying all aspects of life. No matter how much wealth, property, or honor you accumulate over a lifetime, without health, these achievements lose their meaning. Wealth can buy you material possessions, a luxurious house, a high-end car, or extravagant vacations, but it can never buy back your vitality, your energy, or the freedom from disease. Sadly, many of us don't fully appreciate the value of good health until it begins to slip away, leaving us with the painful realization that no amount of money can restore a body once it is frail or ridden with illness. Think of it this way: lost money can always be regained through hard work or opportunity, but health, once compromised, is often gone forever. This is why maintaining a healthy body should be the priority, especially in old age. By staying physically active, eating well, and nurturing your mental well-being, you ensure that you have the strength and energy to enjoy the fruits of your hard-earned success. Don't wait until it's too late to realize how precious your health is. Start today by valuing and caring for your body. It's the key to living your later years with vitality, joy, and independence. Secure your own private space. As life progresses and children grow up to start their own families, it becomes essential for elderly individuals to learn to step back and carve out their own space. This doesn't just mean physical distance, but emotional and mental space as well. One of the most powerful lessons in old age is the importance of letting go and allowing your children and grandchildren to live their own lives without constantly needing to be present in theirs. This doesn't mean cutting off contact or love, but creating a healthy boundary that allows for mutual respect, privacy, and independence. Living independently in your own space can help you avoid unnecessary conflicts that often arise from living too closely with your children. It preserves harmony across generations, allowing family bonds to flourish in a healthy, respectful environment. As the ancients wisely said, where there is distance, there is closeness. Where there is distance, there is love. In giving space to your children and yourself, you allow love to grow naturally without the strain of overdependence. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Having your own private space means you can enjoy the freedom to live on your terms. You can fill your days with whatever brings you joy, whether that's planting flowers, nurturing a garden, or simply sitting on the balcony, sipping tea as the sun sets. These simple pleasures may seem small, but they can bring profound peace. Living independently allows you to pursue your passions without worrying about anyone else's needs or expectations, and this sense of autonomy is crucial in preserving both self-esteem and dignity in old age. Old age should never be seen as a time of dependence, but rather as an opportunity to rediscover yourself, slow down, and enjoy life at your own pace. Your private space is a sanctuary where you can continue to dream, reflect, and find new ways to stay engaged with life. Pursue dreams, no matter your age. Old age is often mistakenly viewed as a time to stop dreaming and merely wait for time to pass, but nothing could be further from the truth. The later years of life offer some of the best opportunities to pursue dreams that may have been put on hold during the busier periods of life. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean that your dreams are out of reach. Whether you want to travel to distant places, learn a new instrument, take up painting, or cultivate a garden full of vibrant flowers, your dreams are still within your grasp. Never forget that it's never too late to chase, after the things you've always wanted. With a healthy body and a strong, clear mind, you can take on new adventures, discover new hobbies, and accomplish things you never thought possible. Aging may bring physical changes, but it doesn't have to limit your spirit or your sense of wonder. Your later years might just be the perfect time to fully realize the things that have always been close to your heart. While your body may experience the natural declines that come with age, if you keep your mind sharp and your outlook positive, the potential for happiness in old age is limitless. Happiness doesn't come from simply existing, it comes from staying engaged, pursuing passions, and making the most of the time you have. Keep dreaming, keep exploring, and keep pushing yourself to enjoy every moment. Because life doesn't end at 70, it's just another chapter in your ongoing journey. As we reach the end of this journey, it's clear that aging can be a beautiful, fulfilling chapter in life if we approach it with the right mindset. From maintaining a healthy body and securing our own space to pursuing dreams no matter our age, each aspect plays a crucial role in living happily and independently in our later years. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What have you learned from this video? What's one thing you plan to bring into practice in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more inspiring content. Thank you for watching.